Hello everyone and welcome to the Animezillia and to the final episode of Inspectre. That's right, we must bid farewell to this amazing show as we hopefully wait for season 2. And you know what? Judging from this episode, that being episode 12, it left us with some very intriguing possibilities that might lead us to a second season in the near future. So, if you want to know why I think there's going to be a new season and what I think of the episode, then make sure you sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy. So then, we start this episode off with basically everyone cheering and being happy, the fact that they've won and it's all over, but more importantly, we learn information about Rikka. And that's what intrigues me the most, because it hints at Rikka's end goal. And that goal is to create a being that surpasses that of Narse, that also possesses power that is able to turn her back into being human. Because Rikka's main goal at the end of it is to become human again, as she doesn't want to be immortal and she just wants to die a normal way and live a normal life basically. She's fed up of having these powers and she just wants things to go back to being the same. And honestly, learning this was kind of intriguing because it does mean that she is going to come back in the future seasons as being another antagonist. You know, this is not the last time that we've seen of Rikka, and this message right here basically proves that. She sends it to Koro's laptop and is like, look, you two win this time, but see you again. This means she hasn't given up on her goal. She is going to go back and try and create another entity that is going to be even more powerful this time, which is going to push her heroes even further beyond. And it raises a few questions as to kind of what we can see in the future. Those being, is there going to be like small multiple kind of tries and attempts? So are we going to get another season of Rikka trying to create something again, but more similar to what she wants, that's powerfuler than Narse? Or is it going to be just like a massive leap to the main thing? Honestly speaking, if I had a choice, I would split the season into 2 and have it so that, you know, we have like a middle ground and then we have like the main thing and keep it to like 2 series if possible. I think the one thing that this season overall did that I wasn't too happy with is they dragged it out way too long and it could have possibly only lasted about 8 episodes and that would have been enough. However, going back to Rikka, one thing that does intrigue me about this is the fact that they keep mentioning that she would do anything to achieve her goals. And I have the question about the word anything. Because if you think about it, her end goal is to become human again. So, does anything include adding more abilities to herself? Because this in turn would make her less human. Now, one part of me says that yes, she would dehumanize herself more in order to gain more power, to become more threatening to our main heroes. Because if she succeeds, she knows that she can basically just rewrite it and say, look, I created you, big entity, you had the ability to turn me back into human, take these powers away, boom, done. They're gone. However, another part of me says that if there's any human, like, remnants left inside of Rikka, the fact that she wants to become human again states that there is, then would she dehumanize herself if she so badly wants to become human again? You know, why make yourself less human if you want to become human? However, there is also a statement from Koro in this episode that, you know, before she even became the being that she is today, so before she had the mermaid flesh and the powers of immortality, before she had the ability to kind of choose her own possibilities, she was already a monster inside anyway. So yeah, there's that. Apart from that though, this episode was really just a nice chilled episode. Like, obviously we had the celebrations at the beginning, we had the Rikka information in the middle, and then we ended off with a nice interaction between Koro and Kotoko. And honestly, I do really like the relationship interactions that we've had between these two characters across this series. And I know Koro does come across as being quite harsh or cold towards her sometimes, but this episode just reinforms and confirms just how deeply he does in fact care for her, as he just wishes her to have basically a happy life. The reason as to why Koro wanted to deal with Rikka on his own is because he knew that getting Kotoko involved would basically show Rikka just how much of a threat Kotoko actually is, and that in turn would basically make Kotoko a direct target from Rikka. Rikka would go out of her way just to go after the biggest thorn in her side, which now is obviously Kotoko. Therefore, she's now in more danger than when they started. Obviously, Kotoko knows this. She's happy with this, pretty much. But Koro didn't want that. She just wants her to grow up and be happy. That's all he ever does want. And come on, give the guy a break. He does try and give smooth romantic talking a try by basically giving her a story that bases his ability on her surname and basically saying that he himself does not belong because of his immortality, so he needs to find his princess, Inawaza. Sorry if I mispronounced that name. I actually find that more difficult than Kotoko to pronounce, if I'm pronouncing that name right. And fun fact, Kotoko doesn't like being called that because she finds that name hard to say and thinks other people find it hard to say. But I'm going to keep calling you that because it makes it easier for me, and I feel like I'm saying it right. Anyway, his little story of an attempt at being romantic kind of falls flat, but he does get the knockout punch by stating that she is prettier than any flower, and he hasn't sent her home yet, much like in the story. Which obviously is just waved away, and she's like, shouldn't judge people by their appearance. And we know, we saw it. She's like, I'm blushing. It was great. I've actually still got the picture thingy on. Hold on. So this scene, interaction between the two, it was really heartwarming and nice, and it was a bit cheesy from Koro's perspective, but it was nice to see because it shows their relationship is finally moving forward, and that's great. Kotoko's little freakouts about Saki and Koro always meeting up are always amusing and fun to see. Her personality is just wonderful to watch on screen. She's a great character overall. I'm a fan of Kotoko, and I'm glad that the relationship is finally moving forward. Honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing more interactions from these two in the future, as, like I said, things are starting to look forward, moving forward in their relationship. That providing we get a season 2 down the road. Now then, that is like the main 3 things that we see in this episode. We see the achievement, the cheering and parade and everything. We see the Saki and Rikka information, and we see the relationship forming between these two, basically just being confirmed. However, if we look at the animation perspective, the animation in this episode was aesthetically pleasing. It always is, but it was much more so, better effects, better quality, in my personal opinion. We see this image right here, and this is a shot of everybody celebrating and cheering. All the yokai are there. Praising is a wonderful sight to behold, and just look at the effects. It looks so aesthetically pleasing. The lighting effects used, the colours, the images, the expressions, everything. And then to top it all off, look at Koro's face. He's just like, why am I seeing this? I don't want to see this. And we know exactly where he's looking. I don't think he's trying to do that on purpose. Maybe he is. Maybe he's just a dirty horn dog, who knows? But you can tell just by the expression on his face that he's not amused at what he's looking at. And he's probably seeing her underwear, if I'm honest. Which he's probably seen before, but hey, who knows? Maybe that keyboard and all the writing kind of got to her, and maybe she leaked a little. Who knows? Oh, and poor skeleton guy. All he wanted to do was have fun, but unfortunately he picked Saki to be his playmate, resulting in a fun laugh from myself, but a very terrified and petrified Saki. The sound effects were great. Music and everything else felt like it was in the right place. Really nice to listen to, easy on the ears, nothing too loud and too kind of like woo happened. All great. Now, speaking of Saki, I hope we do see more of her character in the future. However, the vibe that this episode gave off kind of indicates that we won't. Because it looks like it's a farewell, even though it wasn't much of a farewell. However, if we ever need the police force again, I can probably guess that we're going to see her. Because, you know, she's involved now. She knows about this. I think Rikka probably knows about her, so she's probably a target at some level. And although the yokai have been told not to kind of appear in front of her again, I'm sure they're going to keep an eye on her, just in case. A few more great kind of shots that we get in this episode was the beginning, seeing Nase kind of split and spew out everywhere. I thought that was awesome. And we get to see a very proud Kotoko bowing, saying, I did a good job. And, yeah, she deserves it. Anyway. All in all, this series was a very, very enjoyable series to watch. And it was well worth the time and effort of watching it. And trust me, there's not an effort in terms of following the series. I just have bad internet connection, so it's hard for me to watch anime sometimes. But that's a me problem. But it was a bit complicated in some parts, and the pacing was a bit slow in other areas. However, the characters are all fantastic. The ending made sense, which is more than what we can ask for in this kind of mystery kind of series, because it does get a bit complicated and a bit like twists and turns, and sometimes you can get lost in what they're saying, because they do talk quite fast in some areas. So the fact the ending made sense was a big plus in my opinion. However, my biggest complaint overall was the fact that the show lasted a bit too long in my opinion. It felt like it could have been over a bit quicker, like it could only have lasted 8 episodes and it would have been fine, because the showdown for the final took 3 episodes in total. Now I understand they need time to kind of explain and make everything clear so it makes sense and believable to both the in-show characters and to the audience, us watching. However, I just feel like it could have been, 8 episodes feel like it could have been fine. Rikka came in very late into the series being the main threat, and I'm not a huge fan of the main villain coming in towards the end. I like to kind of see it and interact with the main villain throughout the entire show. However, that's just my personal gripe. If you have any other sort of problems with the series, or you have a different opinion than me, then let me know down in the comments section below. I want to know all your thoughts on this series overall and of this episode. Let's start a discussion down in the comment section below. Maybe I missed something, maybe you missed something, and we can bounce ideas off each other as to sort of things we can discuss in the future. Other than that, that's going to end this review for now. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new so you never miss a video from me. Like I said, comment down your thoughts all down below. Follow me on all social medias. Links are in the description. Other than that, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll catch you in the next anime review. Bye for now.